Welcome to my English class.
Let's make learning English be fun and easy.
Hello there, 8th graders. How's your weekend? I hope you were able to relax and enjoy your weekend. As we all know, we're now back on classes. But don't worry because I am here to help you. Are you looking forward to new adventure and new learning? Great! So, let's start. Do you still remember our last topic? Definitely. It was all about propaganda techniques. So, for today, we have a new discussion. And I am sure that you're going to gain more knowledge and improve your vocabulary skills. Our target most essential competency: determine the meaning of words and expressions that reflect local culture by noting context clues. Are you often experiencing difficulty in determining the meaning of the words? Or they say, nosebleed? Worry no more because in this lesson, it will develop your vocabulary skills for you to easily decipher the meaning of the foreign and unfamiliar words, plus knowing more about our culture.
Before we proceed, let us first play a game to make our discussion more compelling. I am going to flash several pictures and then you are going to determine what local culture is being presented. After that, you are going to read the sentences and you're going to determine the meaning of an unfamiliar word. So, are you ready? Good! Let's start!
So, the first pictures, what local culture is being presented? Exactly! That is a celebration of fiesta or our town fiesta. The sentence is, one of the most popular forms of celebration is the fiesta, which is an elaborate and vibrant festival celebrated with a variety of food and colorful parade. So what do you mean of the word fiesta? Is it commemoration, festival, or meeting, or rally? Exactly! The correct answer is festival. Let's move on to the next picture. What local culture is being shown? Exactly! Those are our local delicacies. The sentence is, in the Philippines, delicacies like suman, bibingka, and puto are a must-try. So what do you mean of delicacies? Is it exotic menu, an expensive dish, a foreign cuisine, or a local food? You got it! The correct answer is local food. On the picture, what do you think is being presented to us? What is the characteristic of a Filipina girl? Especially when she is wearing a Filipiniana and very sensible. Exactly! So we Filipinos, especially the Filipinas, are known to be conservative. So what do you mean of conservative? Let us first read the sentence. Young Filipinos are conservative that they avoid wearing vulgar clothing. What is the meaning of conservative? Is it admirable, humble, refined, or simple? Exactly. The correct answer is refined.
Thank you for participating in our game. For those who got all the correct answers, you will earn additional 3 points on your recitation. Congratulations on a job well done. Learning new words is fun, right? However, it is not always necessary to consult a dictionary when you don't know the meaning of a word. Decoding or getting the meaning of the word according to how it is used in a sentence is the easiest way for you to build your vocabulary. This is called defining words using context clues. In this lesson, I will allow you to test your vocabulary, learning new words, and utilize strategies in understanding unfamiliar words in a sentence. After which, you will be able to assess yourself on how rich your vocabulary is and find ways to improve it. In addition, this will also help you reflect and contemplate on our colorful and diverse culture.
So let us now proceed with our lesson by reading the short paragraph to further deepen your understanding in using context clues. Did you enjoy reading the text? So, if you really enjoy reading the text, what is the paragraph all about? Okay, it is all about the Philippines and the characteristics that we have. So what are the underlined words on the paragraph? Very good. We have melting pot, diverse, hospitality, and resilience. But do you know the meaning of those words? Let us try to determine the meaning of those underlined words based on how it is used in the paragraph. The first word is melting pot. So, based on how it is used on the paragraph, look for clues that will give its correct meaning. What do you mean of melting pot? On the paragraph, it is clearly stated the meaning of a melting pot. So, it is a place where people of different races, religion, beliefs, and tradition blend together as one. 3 points for you. Okay, so let's now proceed on the second word. That is diverse. So again, look for clues that will give the correct meaning of the unfamiliar word. The correct answer is exactly. So when we say diverse, it means varied culture. So it is already stated on the paragraph. And we also have the word hospitality. So try to go back to the paragraph and look for a clue to determine the meaning of the word hospitality. Hospitality means welcoming the guest with a big smile and treating them warmly. Very good. Now that you have given meaning to the unfamiliar words, let us clear doubts by watching the short video about context clues. This will help us further understand about context clues and the types of context clues.
Dear Tim and Moby, what are context clues? My English teacher says they can help me improve my vocabulary, but I'm not sure what she's talking about. Help! From George. Well, George, when we talk about context, we're talking about something's surroundings. You know, like the setting or the backdrop. Take a look at this picture. Can you tell what's missing by looking at the context? Heck yeah, a baseball! You can do the same detective work with words. Let me grab my Throne of Kings books and I'll show you. Yes, I've read them all. That's why I appreciate the show on a much deeper level than you. Anyway, when you see a word you don't know, it's usually surrounded by words you do know. So look at those words and see if they can help you fill in the blank. Take this for example. After dinner, a group of mummers entertained the guests by acting out the story of an evil wizard. You probably don't know the word mummer, but look at what the author says. The mummers entertain people and they act out stories. Can you think of another group of entertainers who act out stories? Right, actors. Mummers is an old-timey word for actors. Of course, there are different ways to look for context clues. Sometimes a mystery word can be defined by its antonyms or opposites. Take this passage. Unlike his genteel brother, Hubert displayed poor manners and crude behavior. The mystery word is genteel. From the context, we know that it's the opposite of someone who's crude and has bad manners. Right again. The word genteel describes someone who's classy and dignified, like that guy. You can also figure out a mystery word by looking for synonyms, or words that mean the same thing. Here, take this one. King Adenoid had married the comeliest woman in the realm, far lovelier and more beautiful than anyone in the 12 counties. Comeliest isn't a word we see too often, but let's take a closer look. First, it ends in the suffix est, like biggest, smartest, and richest. So the queen must be the best or most at something. But what? In the same sentence, it says she's lovelier and more beautiful than anyone else. Those are the synonyms we're looking for. She's the loveliest, most beautiful woman in the kingdom. Okay, just one more trick. Sometimes, a mystery word will be surrounded by examples that can tip off its meaning. Check out this excerpt. Royalton City was filled with cathedrals, castles, and other huge edifices. Now, castles and cathedrals are both examples of big... Flying monkeys? No. They're buildings, Moby. A cathedral's a building, so's a castle. So edifices means buildings. That's true. Sometimes there just isn't enough context to figure a word out. When that happens, there's no shame in using a dictionary.
Based on the video presented, the given examples, and the game that we played a while ago, what do you mean now of context clues? So when we say context clues, these are words or bits of information in the surrounding text that might be used to derive the meaning of an unknown word. These are also hints found within a sentence, paragraph, or passage that a reader can use to understand the meanings of a new word or unfamiliar word. So do you know that there are different types of context clues? Alright, it was already mentioned on the video that we watched a while ago. So we have the definition or restatement. So it means words or punctuation marks that signal a restatement or definition include is, who is, which is, that is, and other words or that dashes, commas, and parentheses. I have here few more examples about the definition or restatement. So the first sentence is, haberdashery, which is a store that sells men's clothing, is becoming more common today. What do you mean of the underlined word? Great! Haberdashery means a store that sells men's clothing. Very good, 3 points for you. Another example is, Marina was indignant, fuming mad when she discovered her brother had left for the party without her. The underlined word is, okay, indignant. Okay, so based on the sentence, indignant means fuming mad. So it is already stated on the sentence, or on the second sentence, it was already defined or give meaning to the word indignant, which is fuming mad. Another type of context clues is example. A new word is related to a familiar word or words. The new word may be an example of a familiar term, or the familiar term may be an example of a new word. So I have here more examples. First sentence is, I knew Mark's ailurophobia was in full force because he began trembling and stuttering when he saw my cat. Ludwig slinked out from under the bed. Okay, so what is the underlined word? Can you pronounce it? Okay, it is pronounced as ailurophobia. What do you mean of that? Look for clues in the sentence. Remember, we're now on the example. Based on the sentence, what was the reason why he began to tremble and stutter? Okay, by seeing the cat. So based on the example given, what do you mean now of ailurophobia? Absolutely, it means fear of cat or cats. Let's now proceed. piscatorial creatures such as flounder, salmon, and trout live in the coldest parts of the ocean. What are the creatures given, or the examples of creatures given? We have salmon, trout, and flounder. So what do you mean now of piscatorial? Very good. So we can say this piscatorial are types of fish. Very good. We are now down on the most common type of context clue, the synonym. A word with a similar meaning to the new word is included in the context. Let us try the examples. The mountain pass was a tortoise road, winding and twisting like a snake around the trees of the mountainside. What is the unfamiliar word? Okay, we have tortoise. What do you mean of the tortoise? Look for a synonym of the word tortoise on the sentence. Is it snake? Are you sure? Any other answer? Absolutely! Tortoise means winding and twisting road. So it is compared to a snake and it is given a synonym of tortoise. Second is, his animosity or hatred of his sister divided the family. What do you think is the meaning of animosity? Okay, you got it. The animosity means hatred. Another way to determine the meaning of the word is through the use of antonyms. It is a word opposite in the meaning to the new word appears in the same sentence or in one nearby. Often, the antonym appears in the same position in the sentence as does the new word. Let's try the following examples. Our sweltering summer days were quickly replaced by the cold flashes of fall. What is the underlined word or the unfamiliar word? Exactly, sweltering. So, what was the opposite meaning presented in the sentence? Exactly. So the antonym of sweltering is cold flashes of fall. So based on the clue provided, what do you now mean of sweltering? What is the weather during summer? Very good. Sweltering means hot weather. Next is, this painting of the landscape is picturesque, while the one of the old house is just plain ugly. The underlined word is picturesque. And when we say picturesque, it is a beautiful or a scenic view. The last type of context clue is inferring meaning. So sometimes, even without specific clues, you can infer the meaning of the word through the other words in the context. Let us try more examples of inferring meaning. The first sentence is, she appeared the audition with the nonchalance of an experienced actress. She acted very comfortable and casual the entire time she was on stage. So is it also your first time hearing the word nonchalance? So let us analyze the sentence to arrive on its correct meaning. So on the sentence, she acted comfortable and casual on the entire of the audition. So it means without feeling frightened during the audition. So what do you mean now of the word nonchalance? Exactly, so it means calmness. Next, I fought to get loose and I almost did for a second. Then they tightened up on me and the one on my chest slugged me a couple of times. So on this sentence, the words fought, tightened up, and one of my chest give us an idea that there is a fight or struggle going on. So based on the sentence, we can infer that slug means to what? Absolutely means to punch or hit someone. Very good. Let us now recall the different types of context clues. Can you name some? Okay, so we have the definition or restatement through the use of synonyms, finding the opposite meaning of the word or the antonym, and the inferring of meaning. So at this moment, can you now determine the meaning of the unfamiliar words? Are you confident enough? Good to know. I am also expecting that it is now easier for you to decipher the meaning of the unfamiliar words. Plus, it will develop your vocabulary skill. So what are the local cultures that are observed or practiced in your community? Okay, very good. So we have the Bayanihan, the Holy Week or Semana Santa, and the Pagmamano. So in ESP, right? Good manners and right conduct are taught. So what are other good manners are taught in ESP that also serves as our local culture? Very good. So the use of po and opo when talking to elderlies. We also have siesta. So, in what year when the Philippines was colonized by the Spaniards? Can you still remember your AP discussion? Absolutely! It was during 1921 when we were colonized by Spain. During those times, many things and traditions were passed to us. Do you know that including our religion or the Christianism also came from Spain? The siesta is originated from Spain also. So it means we adapted it because of them, because we were colonized by the Spain or the Spaniards. Do you know the meaning of siesta? So the word siesta is a Spanish word that derives from the Latin phrase sexta hora, which means sixth hour. So, or noon. So noon occurs roughly 6 hours after dawn, making it 6th hour of the daytime. So this is the time when we love to sleep, right? Next is paghaharana. So if you can still remember, in your Filipino subject, there are several stories wherein paghaharana, especially stories or the old stories or the traditional stories in Filipino, paghaharana is used to show their love to someone. So now, what do you mean of local culture? So when we say local culture, this is everything that we create and share as part of our lives in the place where we live or work. So here in our country, the Philippines, we have lots of local cultures or traditions. Some of those are still practiced or followed through this year, but some are now forgotten. So where do local culture occurs? Or where is local culture? Local culture is everywhere. It resides in our relations with the local government and landscapes, in our local music and artistic expressions, in our community's history and contemporary social issues, and in our family stories. So if you can notice, our family, Filipino family, follows different traditions, local cultures, like during the wedding, during November or the All Souls Day. So, do you have questions about our discussion? Are you sure? Then if none, let us proceed on our first activity. Let us see if you really paid attention on our discussion a while ago. Are you ready? Let's start. So for your first activity, Read the following sentences and determine the meaning of the italicized words using context clues. You are given 1 minute to answer the quiz. Okay, time's up. Are you all done answering our activity? Let us now see if who will get the perfect score. So those who will get a perfect score, you will earn additional 3 points on your recitation. Let us now check if your answers are correct. For number 1, she had a problem with her son whom she considered a pasaway for being ill-mannered. So what do you mean of the unfamiliar word pasaway? Okay, check. That means ill-mannered. Next, Filipinos love the tinikling, a traditional Philippine folk dance which is originated during the Spanish colonial era. Are you familiar with tinikling? Have you experienced dancing tinikling? Okay, so when we say tinikling, it is a traditional Philippine folk dance or a folk dance. And next, Filipinos take good care of their elderly not as an utang na loob, but a way of showing their unconditional love for them. So the underlined word is utang na loob. What do you mean of utang na loob? Very good. It means showing your unconditional love to other people. And last number, a few nights ago, the faithful started the annual Christmas tradition of attending the Misa di Gallo or night masses. Have you attended a Misa di Gallo or Simbang Gabi? Most of us, right? So what do you mean of Misa di Gallo? Absolutely, it means night masses. Very good. So who got a perfect score? It's nice to know that all of you, or most of you, got a perfect score. So it means you will earn 3 points, additional 3 points each on your recitation. So for your next activity, you are going to have a group activity. You're going to form a group consisting of 3 members, and then you are going to make a 2-minute video presentation showing your appreciation to our local cultures. And you are also going to apply what you learned today in our discussion. So you will be graded based on the rubrics that will be given, and the submission of your output will be on Monday. You can send it on my Gmail account. So this will be the basis of your performance of your 2-minute video. So before we proceed on your final activity, let us have first our generalization. I have here several questions for you to answer. As a student of this new generation, how will you show your appreciation to our local cultures to make it alive and practiced forever? Which do you think is the best local culture need to be practiced during this COVID-19 pandemic, and why? And what is the importance of your local culture in Pantao as a member of the community? And how does context clues help you as a grade 8 student? Okay, now, so in what particular topic or discussion in other subjects can you relate context clues? How about in AP? None? Okay, how about in math? Right idea. So we can use context clues if we have a math problem, right? So according to your classmate, when we are solving a math problem, before we solve it, we first determine what kind of operation are we going to use. How are we going to solve the problem? by looking at the given or the clue. So the given or the clue will be your ticket to arrive at the correct solution and get the right answer. Very good. Next, let's now proceed on your final activity, which is the evaluation. So what you are going to do, you are going to identify the unfamiliar word inside the call out. Write the unfamiliar word in the first bilao as shown on the picture, while on the second, write the type of context clue used in the sentence. While on the third one, write the meaning of the unfamiliar word, and finally the fourth, construct a new sentence using the unfamiliar word. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. So we have, Filipinos believe a bayanihan, a community spirit that makes difficult tasks become easier. And the second, next, and lastly, many women from different Philippine ethnic tribes love to wear adornments to add beauty to their clothing and physical appearance. So I know that the final activity will be just a piece of cake for you, because I know you paid attention and you learned something new on this discussion. So kindly pass your answer on my Gmail account. Before we ended our discussion for today, I would like to leave a note for you. Context clues are an effective way to build your vocabulary. Context is the sentence or phrase in which the word is found, and understanding the sentence's general meaning helps to understand a word that is unfamiliar to you. Another, we should show our love and support to our local cultures, because these are a reflection of what kind of people the Filipinos are. Remember that our local culture are rich and colorful. Again, thank you for being part of my discussion for today. I am Emery Jane R. Bonde, your English teacher for today.